games, and then I keep not having the time or ability to play the new games, and it's
Yeah.
fucking killing me, dude. Like, still got like 2 Game Pass games from the end of last year that I have to play.
Oof. Also hit my talked recently about hitting 365 days straight of working out. I did my 200th bike ride this morning.
Nice.
That
Noosh,
was
noosh, 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 noosh.
I tried I tried a bit of a harder ride yesterday, and I thought this won't be that bad. I kind of like
Did you fuck yourself up again?
the instructor. Like, she does really good rides, and I've done some of her low impact ones. I was not ready for the ride that she wanted to do, because it was a lot of like, we're doing a bunch of out of the saddle work, which is where you stand up on the pedals. That was I'm trying to, let's not get into the whole like heart rate math, 220 minus your age, but like I'm trying to stay in that middle zone, because that's the like best heart health and like workout and calorie burning without doing anything. As soon as I get
Yes.
out of the saddle, it gets to the zone right after that of like 150 beats per minute plus, and I'm just like,
Yep.
help.
Oh,
Hey there, favorite.
this is something I forgot to talk about before we go live.
Mm-hmm.
Life updates.
Mm.
I finally have a primary care physician.
Hey, nice.
After 8 years,
Yeah.
I finally have a primary care physician.
America.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I I got the appointment for the doctor in February. And they were
Okay.
like, okay, you can do March the 20th or
Okay.
August the 12th.
Right next to each other.
Uh-huh. These are the slots we have. Deal with it.
Oh, Lord.
I know, because I've spent 2 years calling physicians. Do you take new patients? Do you accept my insurance? You take in new
Right.
patients? Do you accept my insurance? Yes, no, no, yes, yes, no. There's never been 2
Never a
yeses.
yes, yes.
Yes. So I went in and they're like, okay, here is 15 different tests we need to run on you.
Perfect. Take all my blood.
Literally, that was one of them. We need you to go and get an X-ray done.
Okay.
The good news is the X-rays. All of our urgent care centers have the X-ray machines in them, except for
Perfect.
one. Just walk into the urgent care, tell them you're there for an X-ray, referred by the doctor. They'll see you like pretty quickly, and you'll be all set.
Easy peasy.
That took like 10 minutes yesterday. It was
Nice.
fine.
Wow.
Also helpful, it's spring, not the sickness season, so like the
True.
place was dead anyway.
True.
No pun intended. Um, but when I went, the doctor's office is right next to a lab. Like they share a building. So
Yeah,
like I
mine is
left
too. Yep.
the doctor's office and straight into the room next door, and that was the lab. And they're like, okay, sign all this stuff, sign away your rights, the usual kind of healthcare
Yep.
stuff
We're taking all
in
your
this country.
fluids. We're gonna sell them to Germany.
And then like they took me into the room and like, okay, so here's a bunch of blood tests we're gonna run. And I sat down and I'm not kidding, the lady had 9 vials on the table.
And you're like, oh, those are for the next
Those are
week.
all
Those
for
are for
me.
me. Okay.
Yeah, they're
Oh boy.
100% all for me. And I was like, okay, I don't care about the needle. I hate the sensation of it going in. I just
Mm.
can't watch it. And the blood doesn't bother
I,
me once it's in.
I can't
Can't
watch
see the
the.
needle.
I'm the same way. I've never met anybody else. I can't watch the blood fill the vial. I don't care about the needle.
Uh-huh.
I don't care about it going in. I don't care about them turning me into husk and taking all my blood. If I
Yep.
see the blood filling the vial, I throw up. Like,
Yeah. So
I can't do it.
I can't watch the needle go in and I can't watch the blood come out. They're the
Sure.
two things I can't watch. It was,
And like, I don't care seeing blood. Like, I don't care if the blood is coming out of
Yeah,
the. I care
if it's
about
in,
that, but
if
like,
yeah, if it's a cut or something, that's
yeah,
fine.
that's
Like
fine.
I gave myself a cardboard cut earlier today while I was cleaning.
Oh
That's
God.
bad news, dude.
Oof.
Um, like when I cut myself, it's fine. Like that stuff doesn't bother me at all. It's just going
The
into that
rapid
vial
like
doing.
filling of the vial. Oof.
Yeah, it's
Ugh.
just no, it's just. But yeah, I got that taken, and I'm officially on anti-anxiety meds now.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
so I've started my what dosage do you need journey
Yeah, the like
here.
figuring out. Yeah, because I've always
Yeah.
heard it's sort of like, we're gonna try this. How do you feel? Oh, that's you feel bad in one way or the other. Okay, we're gonna try and
Mhm.
scooch it until you. That's good.
Yeah, because I think I scored a 20 out of 24 on the anxiety scale. So
All right, chances are
it's
good.
not good. It's like a bunch of 1 to 5s,
Uh
and I'm
huh.
like 5, 5, 5,
That was me
3,
when I was going for my
5,
sleep apnea
5.
test. They're like, "Do you have any of these things?" And I'm like, "Yep, yep, 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 yep." Oh, that's why I sweat a lot at night. Okay, yep, got that too. Yep. And they're like, they looked at the sheet and they're like, "You got sleep apnea, man." It's like, okay, hook me
Uh-huh.
up to the machine.
I've talked about this with you before. I share a lot of similar comparisons with you in that regards.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think we both figured out that I should probably get a sleep study done when I was
Yeah.
on the couch down here,
Mm-hmm.
and I fell asleep like click of the fingers fast when an air conditioner was blowing cold air directly at my face,
Yep.
and I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
I was just like,
The
yeah, I
the
should
thing
probably.
that the thing that brought me, and I always want to talk about sleep apnea, not because I always want to make it sound bad. Number one,
No,
that's what
because it could be fatal.
killed Ryan Davis. Number two,
Hmm.
most people don't know they have sleep apnea, even though they do. Number three, it hurts your brain, your heart, and your lungs. That can be reversible if you get on a CPAP machine or an APAP machine, depending on what type of apnea we have. The three things that kicked it off for me was one, uh, one of the biggest things is you lay down and you immediately fall asleep, and you wake up and you feel like you haven't slept at all. And I was like, I do have that. Snoring real bad, I have that. And then the thing that really did it for me was when you get tired or you're trying to fall asleep, you have jumpy legs, you get restless legs, so like you
Yeah,
can't.
that's a big one for me too.
Yeah, you need to get tested.
Yeah, I
uh,
know. I have a PCP now. Let me
I know
let me finish going
you're
through my
knocking the
current.
things up first. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
So,
yeah.
so the intro paperwork for them,
Oh
like
my
the
god, yeah.
so we have an app here.
Hmm.
I think I was talking to the boys about this, about if they have apps like in Florida and California, and Rob
Hmm.
was like, "Oh yeah, it's this," and Justin was like, "Yeah, it's this." I was like, "Yeah, mine's called this, and it's pretty much the similar. It feels like it was designed in like 1999. It's
Yes,
all big
100%.
boxes and fucking bullshit."
Hmm.
But like part of my intro paperwork, I didn't have to fill out at the place. I filled it out on the app, which is great.
Oh,
I
that's
could sit
nice.
here at 10 o'clock at night and answer all of the questions and fill
Yep.
it all out. And like when I put about depression and anxiety, immediately popped up and was like, "Are you in a crisis? Call these numbers.
Oh, that's nice. That's really good.
If you're not, okay, tell your doctor. The
Right.
second you get in, talk to the doctor about
That's
it." I was like,
great.
okay, fucking great. Giving you a resource right then and there to be able to be like, this is what I need, please,
Right.
someone, I can call somebody. But it was like, okay, what are your ongoing medical conditions? And it was just a search field. So you could search for something, pick it,
Oh,
and then
interesting.
describe it. And I was like, shit, dude, I put like 10 things down in this fucking
Can
list.
I just put like shit's all fucked up? Like,
And I know we're not going to get to 10 things the very
right,
first appointment
right,
because I still have to go back to work after the appointment. And I'm
right.
sure he has different patients he
We don't
needs to
have
speak
two
to.
hours here to sit in
Yeah,
there
this
and
isn't
talk.
critical misses recording. This is a fucking doctor's appointment.
That's right.
So, like, I'm sitting there like, okay, what are the most important things? Okay, the neck is probably right up there.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
neck and the anxiety
Right.
and the depression and stuff like that. So, I picked like the 5 most important
Right.
things. And was
Here are
like,
my top
let's
five.
let's start. Yeah, top 5 reasons why Moon is fucked up.
That's right.
Let's start with those and go from there.
Yeah.
Let's slowly but surely take some chinks out of this armor until I'm feeling
Right.
a little healthier and happier.
Yeah.
Pharaoh did ask which one. It's the most popular one, but I'm on a generic version of it. It's
Sure.
fluoroxamine or whatever, which is
They're all kind of
what's
that
the
same name, anyways.
what's the most famous one?
Fuck, I don't know.
It's not Zoloft. It's the other one.
I don't know. I would know it if I heard it, but I don't know it.
So would I. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a generic Xanax. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure it's
there we
that
go.
one.
Yeah, I think it's that.
But it is like a generic version of that. But
Yeah.
I'm on like 25 milligrams at the minute, so it's like
Okay.
it's literally the lowest dosage
Right.
possible. We'll see from there. So I got
Right.
30 days of that. We'll see how it goes.
Nice.
Um,
That's good.
it's been a fucking crazy week, dude. That's what I was doing this week.
That's
Most
what I
of
was
the time.
playing this week.
I was working ridiculous hours, and then between that, I was like, okay, I got 30 minutes. The pharmacy is 9 minutes away if I drive.
I could do
Can
this.
I do leave pharmacy, drugs, back in my lunch break?
Right.
That's the question.
Right.
Yes, I could.
Nice.
I just have to set a reminder for myself now to remember to take the fucking things.
Yeah. Do they have that
That's
built into
gonna
your
be the
phone
killer.
like they do on iOS?
I can set reminders for myself to do stuff like that. I have them.
On iOS, they actually have a medicine reminder of like, I need to take this many milligrams at this time of day for this, and you could put all of your stuff in there locally only, allegedly, and then you can do all the stuff in there.
Allegedly doing some fucking heavy lifting there, dude.
Hey, I don't work for Apple, thank God. Hire me for a
Mhm.
podcast. All right, are you ready to get started at 4:30?
Sure. It's gonna be a short one, dude.
Yeah.
Let's give the people what they want in a giant hour-long outtakes episode.
That's
Well,
right.
we've just got to keep going for like another 2 minutes, and we can hit that sweet 60 minutes. I'm just
That's
saying.
right. That's right. All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to a brand new episode of That Video Game Podcast, aka TVGP. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me as always is Moonpier.
Hello.
The Nimp is out this week. Should see him returning next week. Let's do a quick plug here for patreon.com/E1M1.
Ones and numbers.
If you're watching us live and you're wondering, hey, why are they so late today? Boy, do I have some stuff to tell you about. Recorded a 58-minute and 30-second Outcast this week. That's just the first part. We got more coming later, usually, about I air a lot of podcast grievances. It's not necessarily against... We do. Yes, we do. We also pump up some of our friends and some of our favorites here. Talk about mic issues. We do a little bit of talking about the tech behind a podcast. Yes.
Taylor Tomlinson. That's the name.
Thank you. We talk about Taylor Tomlinson. We couldn't remember her name.
Go listen to the Outcast.
That's right. Talk about some life updates. Talk about a lot of really great stuff. And this Outcast is the exclusive uncensored. I always want to say behind the scenes. It's like behind the life of us, other than the video games.
I just want to say After Dark again because I really like the phrase After Dark.
It is a great phrase there. Listen to the Outcast for more of that. That's available at the $2 or higher tier. You also get early access to Critical Misses and We Rogue Like It. Critical Misses Season 36, Episode 1. Just finished recording on that. That was a 5-star runtime. That's unedited, well over 2 hours. Edited will be well over 2 hours. That was... You'll know why when you see the title of the movie and the season. But that one's an all-timer of...
I just looked at the runtime on my screen here because I still have the file open in the background. This is 235.
It's over 2.5 hours of a pretty great conversation about a challenging movie that we watched for that one. We are starting a brand new game for We Rogue Like It this week, Luck Be a Landlord. You can get in 2 weeks early for that. At the $5 tier or higher, you get exclusive access to the Critical Misses production meeting, which we actually talk a bunch about during the Outcast. So go check that out there. There'll be a brand new one for Season 36 coming to patrons pretty soon. I thought that one turned out really nicely. Listening back to that during editing, it's a pretty good one. That's a good show. I like that one a lot.
And that will also give you the skinny on what the upcoming seasons are.
That's right. Get pretty excited, especially about Season 36. And you get exclusive access to The Wayward Sons, the Supernatural TV show watchcast that Moon and Nimp are going through. We also talk about that a lot on the Outcast. Have you figured we talked a little bit about everything that we do on the Outcast? You should check that out. Again, $5 or higher is a recommended one. It's called Fun for a $5 for a reason. Gets you everything that we're currently putting out, which turns out is a lot every week.
It's a smorgasbord of content.
That's right. You got it right there. Patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones are numbers.
All right, Moon, what have you been playing this past week.
I mean, is there really any questions?
Typing in
I have,
Monster Hunter Wilds long play into YouTube right now.
yep, that'll be the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out the Outcast. Long work, other things going
Busy
on.
week.
Yes, busy week. So I played two things. One I talked about in We Roguelike It, and the second thing was Monster Hunter Wilds. Mostly I'm just on the gold hunting, right? Correction. The gold crown hunting right now.
So what does that mean for someone that doesn't know anything about
Yes,
Monster Hunter?
for yourself.
Yes, for me.
And probably most of the listeners.
Right.
So Monster Hunter famously has nightmarish achievements.
Oh, okay.
Hunt 100 monsters, hunt 100 monsters in multiplayer, hunt 100 monsters with this, complete all of these monsters, hunt, in this case. Nope, I'm not going to say that. Hunt 100 or 50 redacted monsters, hunt 50 redacted monsters.
Sure.
I don't want to say what it is because some people might have
but people can get like the new type of monster in Wilds, hunt 50 of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So it's that kind of stuff. And in all of them, in all of the Monster Hunter games, you have a field guide, and that's basically a journal that you open, and it's like, here are the large monsters, here are the small monsters. I don't know why I'm saying monsters with a U. Like,
I'm very hungry for cheese.
Like, I was thinking more about the Dragula, to be honest.
I'm always thinking about the Dragula. Thank you very much.
If you're not thinking about the Dragula, you're doing something wrong.
That's right.
But like, it's got large, small. It's got endemic life, like the plants and the fishies and stuff like that. Like, it's basically a glossary of everything in the game, essentially. And each of the monsters, the large ones specifically, so your traditional Monster Hunter monsters, they have size variations. And in your log, it will tell you what the largest you've hunted is and the smallest that you've hunted is.
That's kind of fun. So a lot like what a fishing game would be, of like, you caught a 20-foot bass. That's not a real length of a bass. I know.
Yes,
Sounds
exactly.
big, though.
I mean, you haven't been to the deep ocean. It wouldn't surprise me if there was
true.
one down there.
There's some stuff down there, man.
But what it does is like there's three different delineations of size. Like, on both smallest and largest, there is nothing, just blank. So it's just a number. There is a silver crown, and then there is a gold crown.
Ah, okay.
So if you're right at the upper end or the lower end of size, you get gold crowns. If you're a little bit lower or higher, you get silver crowns.
Okay.
And then other than that, there's like a blank space there. One of the achievements in this game, 6 of the achievements in this game, is get 1 silver crown, get 1 gold crown, get most of the monsters with a silver large crown, like the largest size, but the silver crown delineation. And then get most of the monsters with the smallest silver crown.
Okay.
Then get most of the monsters with the large gold crown, and get most of the monsters with the large small, or with the gold small crown.
You're hunting pretty much all of the variations of all of the monsters across the game.
Yes, and specifically, this game has an interesting thing it does where, like, because it's got this exploration nature to it, and I think it's a little disappointing based on the bill of rights I was sold was big open world game, hunt the monsters, and it very much became just like other Monster Hunter games where it's you pick a quest from a menu and you go and do that quest.
Okay, so it's not like 30 monsters can be found in this area, go find them.
Exactly.
Right.
And like a lot of it just stripped out all of the need to go and explore the actual world. And it became like the other Monster Hunters, where it's like, no, I'm not hunting them. I'm picking this quest and I'm going to go get them, and then that'll be it. We'll be done. With the crown hunting, I don't know because it's so new. I don't know if it's been confirmed or not, but there is no guaranteed way to get a crown from a quest that you are given just an optional quest in your menu.
Oh, so you can't go pick, like, I want to go fight a large silver-crowned Rathalos, and it'll be like, here it is.
Correct.
Gotcha.
All you get is the Rathalos.
Mm.
Everything else is completely random.
So that makes the randomness of it frustrating.
Can be, but what you can do now, because they do have this open world, is all of the different zones. There's like 5 different zones, and they all basically cycle through a timeline. So they go night to day, then they go from plenty to there's 3 different, like, what's the word?
Like feast or famine, basically.
Yes, 3 different versions of that. There's plenty, fallow, and in decline, or inclemency, I think is what they call it. So you've got all 3 of those, and then you've got night to day cycles as well. So there's like 6 or 7 different variations of every single map,
Okay.
essentially. And monsters will appear at certain times of day in certain modes and certain things. So you can look in your field guide and figure it out. So all I've been doing is I've been jumping in. I'll start at the desert and be like, okay, who is currently spawned in the desert who I don't have the crowns for? So you look, then you ride to that monster, and rather than just getting in a fight with them, you can just pull out your binoculars, and if you look at them through your binoculars, it'll have a crown logo next to it. So you can just literally go, do a little peep, and then if he doesn't have a crown, or in my case, because I'm elitist, if he has a silver crown, I don't care. I'm not going to touch you until you have a gold crown, because that'll override the silver crown anyway.
Oh, sure. So you'll get both by doing the gold crown.
Exactly. So I'll give her a little peep, and then I'll be like, no, you don't have a crown. Who else is on this map? Let me go ride to them and see, what they're like. I'll do that with the entirety of the map, and then if nobody's there that I can do anything with, I'll just fly to the next zone. Mm-hmm. Do the same thing. Loop around. Any crowns? No. Fly to the next zone. And then it's actually working out pretty well, because I've got a fair few crowns where I've just gone into the map, seen the monster. It's got a crown. Because it has a crown, I'm going to stop. I'm going to hunt it. And then by the time I'm done hunting it, all of the other maps have refreshed. So all of the other maps now have new monsters, new environments, new everything. Mm-hmm. So then I can go and do the loop again until I find the next crown, and then the next crown, and then the next crown. And it's just basically me doing a lot of
materials and stuff from hunting these monsters anyways, right? So it's like,
yes,
you're never really kind of like,
I'm never wasting anything, because I'm in high rank mode, so every monster I fight is a high rank monster now.
Okay.
So every time I go in, it's just like, yeah, okay, I'm just going to get a bunch of you. I don't know if I need you for anything, but I'm still going to get a bunch of rewards for it anyway, so that's what my current plan is. Just run in, do a bunch of hunting, and then run out. There's been a couple of them where it's like, I don't know if you can get a crown, because you're an Apex, and generally the Apexes usually don't have that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I was so wrong, because the water one in the forest has a golden crown. And he's not a nice thing to fight. But part of this as well is I'm also knocking out quests for the cat quests, like do 100 quests with my cat, do 100 quests with multiplayer people. Because like if I get into a hunt and then I'm like, I want to do this with people, I just fire an SOS flare, and almost immediately people will be like jumping in just to jump in and kill whatever I'm trying to do.
Oh, nice.
So they can do their stuff. And one might say it's popular enough to have an active multiplayer thing going on at the moment. Good. So like, yeah, I've got 45 minutes. I'm going to load in and try and find a crown or 2 kind of thing. And then other than that, it's like, I'm just going to jump in and play Luck Be a Landlord, because I have a problem with that game, apparently.
Yeah, listen to our first episode on We Work Like It for exactly how far the rabbit hole goes on nearly immediately. Yeah.
Yep.
Little
I haven't broken a game in a while.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really all I have.
We've been recording for a long time today.
Yes. That is all I've really had time to play this week. So Boston.
I checked out more Destiny 2 this week. We got a shorter kind of story beat this week. It was still really good. I like a lot of where the storyline is going for this episode so far. I still don't want to spoil it too much, but maybe I can talk about it once Act 3 starts in, I think, maybe 2 weeks. Because I think it's an interesting... played with Feyre a little bit, and she didn't know any of the stuff about the story, so like I don't really want to spoil it too much for anybody that's still catching up here. I did more Court of Blades, which is the new activity. I kind of like it. I think people are kind of figuring out strats and stuff now. You know how it usually goes where, all right, it's been out for a week. People know how to do all the modifiers, and people know how to kind of... The goal in it, and I don't think I realized this last week, is, you know, defeat as many bosses as you can within the 10-minute time frame, or I found out this week, or kill 13 of them. Once you kill 13, it boots you out and says, all right, you've gotten the platinum rewards. You're done. No matter how long it took you to do, if it only took you, 8 minutes, your run is still over. So get on out here, get your rewards. So that's been kind of an interesting twist on it of there's an encouragement for you to go fast, because you can get it done faster than the 10 minutes, which is good.
Yeah.
I think my only... Go ahead.
Can you just run through the names of the Destiny expansion packs for me? The ones you can remember off the top of your head?
All of them?
Yeah, just in general. Just give me a couple of examples.
The last couple have been Witch Queen, Lightfall, and the Final Shape.
Okay, so these are actually secretly a YA high fantasy series?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, you also did just mention the Court of Blades, which
it's
that's
very,
the one that
like,
triggered it for
YA
me.
coded. Yeah.
It's literally the one that triggered it for me. Where it's like, I'm sure I read that book when I was a teenager.
My
and
mother
I'm sure
might be the
like,
queen,
franchise.
but I still have to compete in the Court of Blades.
Yeah, dude.
I've read those
it's
books.
given YA
vibes,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I'm reading The Fourth Wing right now. If anyone has read it, it's very much the same as that. I think I've found... my only complaint about Court of Blades, though, compared to the Nether is... Oh, God, how do I explain that? It's very much a Destiny
So many
system.
nouns, dude.
I know.
So many nouns.
It's very much a Destiny system of, like, the more... It's smart because there are things called minor boons when you go into the Nether. And they're like these little black orbs. You pick them up and it'll do like, oh, now bosses do less damage to you. Or you your class ability charges faster. Or your grenades charge faster. Or your super does more damage. Stuff like that. And it stacks up to 10 times. So you pick up one, it stacks 1. Pick up another one, it gets you another stack. Randomly, every once in a while in the Nether, you'll pick one up and you'll get... I have no idea what they're called. I think they're called scrolls. You get a scroll, and basically, when you pick up one of those for, like, the boss protection one, next time when you pick up one of those minor boons for boss protection, you get 2 instead of just 1. And it maxes out at 3. And you get those by just going and doing the Nether and picking them up. So over time, you're just going to get them. They have a similar system for a Court of Blades, but those seem to be way more powerful because they apply for both the Nether and Court of Blades, and they grant you general protection against an entire enemy race. So it'll be like, you take less damage from the Taken. And that's really powerful. It's kind of annoying to get them, though, in true Destiny fashion, because at the end of a run of Court of Blades, there'll be like a little pedestal behind the chest, and you can dunk one of these materials that you get from the season. Surprise, there's a new material called Metastasize Essentia, because it's Destiny.
Again, nouns.
Yeah, it's a very Destiny noun. You can only get those by picking them up in the Nether and then completing a boss fight in the Nether. And it changes them from Metastasize Essentia to whatever the green version is. You can't go get those in Court of Blades. And those are the things you need to dunk into the thing after you finish Court of Blades to get more scrolls. So, like, you're kind of seeing this thing of, like, I have to go do the one activity, which I still need triumphs for, so it's not that big of a deal, to get materials that I've been dunking into something else to dunk at the thing at the end of Court of Blades. So it's like, what Destiny really needs at the moment is for Destiny to be a lot less Destiny, and you're kind of still doing the thing. So, like, and that's, like, only a fraction of the systems that are in this episode. So, like,
yeah,
it's just frustrating to be like, well, of course you take this thing with the Court of Blades and the Sentry and the bosses, and then, like, it's all kind of like a little bit too busy. And, like, I haven't even talked about how you focus weapons. That's an entirely separate system, which is, like, there's just so much stuff. There's so many, like, plates you're spinning that once you get into it, it's fine, and, like, it all makes sense. But, like,
I think once you get in and stay in.
Well, I mean, like, once you get into the episode, it makes a lot of sense, because Bungie's gotten a lot better about saying, like, okay, you got the Tome of Want, which is how you focus the weapons that you want to have dropped, which, of course, is called the Tome of Want, because this is Destiny now. Like, you feed this thing in, you feed this thing in, and then it gets you a weapon at the end of it, or a piece of armor or something, and you're, like, focusing the drops you want to get. But on the surface, that sounds incredibly complicated. But once you get into it, you pick the thing that has the picture of the thing you want to drop on it. You pick this other thing. If you pick, like, the weapon one, you can or can't pick, like, the specific type of weapon you want to drop. And then you push a button and it says, all right, for the next 5 drops, this thing will drop. It's like, okay, cool. But they have to make it sound so proper Noun-ey to be almost too complicated for people to just get in and try. I'm hoping they've been easing up on some of this stuff. I hope they ease that. The next thing that's coming for Destiny is a big expansion. The, like, more than ever make or break Destiny 2 and Bungie expansion, because Lord knows we haven't seen anything from Marathon for ever.
Is that a looter shooter as well?
No, it's an extraction shooter, man.
That's it.
Even more complicated.
Even more complicated and even more dead right now as a franchise,
it's got
as
some
a
cool
genre.
Style, though. It looks pretty neat. But, like, I'm hoping that Bungie can kind of get out of their way a little bit for the next expansion. They're talking about all the right stuff for the next expansion, which we haven't really talked about, of, like, redoing stats all over, so, like, stats matter in a much more interesting way. Putting set bonuses for a loot game. Wouldn't you know it? So hopefully, but, you know, I'm Act 3 is coming here pretty soon. Act 2 is very short for reasons I don't entirely understand. I think I have an idea, but I really want to talk about one of these big story beats that happened a couple weeks ago, but I'll save that.
Is the idea related to layoffs?
No. There's some big stuff happening in the story right now. I'll talk about one of a little bit here. I don't want to talk about the big story beat that happened at the beginning. You kind of run into a big bad from earlier before that you killed, and somebody basically tells them, like, hey, this Guardian. This is the one that killed you. And they essentially just turned to you and they're like, that's sick as hell, man. That's super cool. I can't believe someone was strong enough to kill me. You did it? That's incredible. You should take over for me. As, like, the bad guy. You were clearly strong enough to kill me. And everybody else is like, what? That's not how this goes. And even, like, the other bad guys are like, bro, no. What are you talking about? And he's just like, yeah, this is super sick. They're incredible. They killed me. Did you hear these guys killed me? That's super great. They're the new bosses now. Good luck. And a lot of it has been like, what? No. What? No.
Same as
what?
the old boss?
I mean, I'd like to think I'm better, but, you know. What is hubris?
Guardians aren't...
Who has hubris ever killed? Nobody.
Yeah, Guardians aren't, you know, the defenders of hope and justice. They're the Jedi.
We're turning old gods into guns. That's who we are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Guardians are Jedi, dude.
That's right.
They're the bad guys.
That's right. So really excited to see where Act 3 goes, because after Episode 1's story was fine, if a little unimpressive. Episode 2's story was not very good. Not terrible, but just really didn't do it. And Episode 3 is really knocking it out of the park so far. So see if it continues. Next game here, Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Kind of hit the, I don't want to call it the doldrums of this game this week,
Grind point?
Yeah, in a way that I didn't think. Okay, so minor spoilers again. I talked about it, I think it was last week, of like, wouldn't you know it, there's like 5 dudes that run a pirate crew that you have to defeat, and you're gonna run through them one by one, just like you do in all the Yakuza games. I finished up that whole storyline because it seemed like the next thing that I needed to do was going to be fighting those guys to continue the story. Turns out that wasn't really what needed to happen, so I was going to do that anyways because I think it unlocks a whole bunch of stuff for late game stuff, but a lot of my time was just on the ship, fighting a bunch of people, clearing out a map, and then kind of like fighting their boss and rinsing and repeating. So I didn't do very much stuff in Hawaii at all this week, which is fine because I think I'm largely done with a lot of that stuff. But it was sort of like, okay, I'm still in chapter 2 of 5. I haven't moved to chapter 3 yet. The story's going some interesting places, but I'm like, part of what's pushing me through is I really want to pick up Assassin's Creed Shadows, because everybody's review and impressions of that have been, hey, this is really good, and I'm like, oh, I really want to play that.
I cashed in my reward points.
Yeah, I don't have enough reward points to like cash in, but I think I'm gonna pick it up. But like, I need to be finished with these 2 games that I'm talking about, this one and the next one, because I don't think I can juggle another game at the same time, especially not another like big open world game like a Ubisoft open world game when I'm playing these other 2 games. So I need to like buckle down and just kind of finish the meal I'm eating right now, so to speak.
Yeah. So I want to get back to AC, but I also kind of just want to do the achievement grind on Monster Hunter because it's brainless and I can do that. I sent a text to Nimp and I asked him if he started Shadows yet because I haven't been in Discord to see if he updated there yet.
Yeah, if anyone didn't catch like last week or 2 weeks ago, Nimp, when he bought his new machine, they always give you like a brand new game with your new video card. The game he got was AC Shadows. So he said in Discord the other day he preloaded it because it just came out a couple days ago. So
yes, when I talked to him on Thursday, he ran the benchmark, but he had not started it yet.
Okay.
So
we'll see next week if started.
If he has started this game, then it might be a case of we both started too.
Yeah, and really, maybe I'm in the mood for like a big dumb Ubisoft open world game.
I mean, I could do with it. And do you remember when I talked about how they dropped Far Cry on the Game Pass, like idiot, before the new game came out?
Yep.
They dropped Legion last week.
Okay. Sheesh. What are you guys doing?
Yeah. Like, idiots. Dude,
so like,
idiots.
I think I just need to focus on the story of Pirate Yakuza at this point. Like, I've bought almost all of the skills in the game. I have fully upgraded my ship. I've done a whole bunch of side story stuff. I'm unlocking trophies like crazy. Like, I'm at the point where I can just sail through the... Sorry, that was genuinely no pun intended. I can just move right through the rest of this game. And I just really need to, because I think I could get the platinum pretty easily, but that's not really the focus, I don't think. I just really need to just kind of finish this thing up. I'm not sick of it or anything, but I feel like if I finish the story, then I can do the rest of the platinum stuff and just kind of knock the rest of it out. So it's still good. I just need to get done with it. Last game I played here, 2 Point Museum. I have I can now say that the 5 museums that I have are the 5 in the game. Um, I am working on uh, upgrading my curator class. I think I'm on working on 6 or 7 right now, which is like get 4 more stars across all of your hospitals.
That's like your account wide level,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Not
basically your
specifically
like,
based.
yeah, it's basically your like your overall goal across the entire county. Um, and I just upgraded my class because I got 3 additional stars across all of them. And I just finished the haunted one. I got all 5 stars in that one, which that was a pretty good. There's a pretty good storyline for those because each one of these has a storyline associated with it, and that one was like these kind of like old ghost thugs kind of messed up this hotel. It's still a 2 point game, so like it's still ridiculous. But they like messed up this hotel and then they ran off somewhere. And as you expand the grounds of the museum, you find out where they went and you kind of like close up where they were bothering us with and kind of like capture them and use them as exhibits. Um,
Do you put them in the containment facility? Then does
Pretty
does
much.
the lousy health department come and open that facility?
Uh, they make some visits, yeah. Yeah.
So
Um,
I have to ask,
sure.
without spoiling a whole bunch,
Okay.
give me your favorite weird bad pun exhibit. Because I'm
Oh
sorry, but
Lord,
night school will forever live rent free in my head
night
for the
school
college
is way
version.
up there. I feel like there's less of a focus on this time on what the exhibits are called and more of how your visitors interact with the exhibits. Um,
Okay.
like you get one of these plants that looks like an outstretched vampire bat. And when people get too close to it, it closes the wings of it, and then it like rustles and rumbles a little bit, and it opens back up, and it turned one of your visitors into a vampire. And you get like
Okay.
uh,
So it's a human fly trap.
pretty much. Well, no, there's
Oh,
actually
sorry, a
getting
Venus human trap.
that's a different one. That's actually massive. I got a trophy for a visitor getting eaten by that thing, and it popped them out, and they were pumped. They loved the museum because I got eaten by one of those things. So I think it's less of like the names of the things are funny. The descriptions for them are pretty funny, but I think the interactions of what they do with the visitors are the really fun ones. I think the only one that made me laugh recently was it's a haunted one. It's called the Bashful Bust, and it is a bust of a person, but no matter how you spin the camera and no matter where you put it in your museum, it's always looking away from you. So you only get like the side of its face, and you rotate the exhibit and you rotate the camera, and the head always rotates away from you.
Interesting.
I thought that was pretty clever. But a lot of it is more than anything else the interactions of the visitors, which I think is pretty fun. I did run into a thing that is my only one complaint. First off, I've been playing this constantly since this game came out. It's a $40 or $50 game. It is not a full price game. So this game is.
And you probably put like 80 hours into it, would be my
I
guess.
mean, this game is really, really big in a way that could have charged $70 for this and it would have been okay. Um, the only complaint that I've run into so far, there are performance issues on the PS5. That's not super surprising because there were performance issues on the previous 2 games. They're just big games. So, like, consoles are going to have a problem with it. If I really cared that much about it, I'd play this on PC. I don't even know if it has controller support. I should have looked. But when you go, we talked a lot about going on the exhibitions to go get exhibits and bring them back and display them. On the haunted museum one, you're going out and you're capturing ghosts and you're bringing them back. and you're putting them up in essentially like dorm rooms, and you're when you so there's something in this game called buzz bonuses, and it's usually like, I'm going to put down a skeleton, and the buzz bonus is I need to be near a dinosaur footprint decal on the floor. And if you do that, the amount of buzz, like large, basically excitement that people feel when
it's synergies for the decor.
Right. And your visitors, most of your visitors, they're happier with the museum the higher the buzz is overall. So you're really encouraged to not only make the individual piece look the best, but you're also encouraged to decorate around it. It's very much like the in previous games, it was like the room decoration sort of thing of like, if you leveled up the room for like night school in 2 Point Campus to level 5, people are happier about it, they learn better, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Same thing there, but you also have a multiplier on top of that for the buzz bonus. So like if you get the buzz bonus, it's just it multiplies, like now people are even more excited about it. You have buzz bonuses for ghosts as well, but it's usually something stranger. Like I want a Dark Ages room decor for the room that I'm staying in, and they stay the happiest the longest if everything in the room is of the same theme. But maybe they don't want to have a fire in the room, or maybe they want to have a bookshelf, or maybe they want to have X, Y, or Z, and that will be the buzz bonus for them. And the rarer the ghosts are, the more requirements they will have for their buzz bonus. Sometimes it's just like, I want a light in my room, and that's really it. Some people will have 5 or 6. I ran into a problem where to get like the 2-star for the haunted museum, you have to satisfy the buzz bonuses for a famous ghost. And these are like special ghosts that need a special room, and everything about it is more difficult. But the first one you catch, when I looked at it, I couldn't find the thing that would make them happy. It was like a salvaged wheel for a ship. You don't get, until I looked it up, I didn't realize you don't get that as a reward until you get 3 stars in that place. So you can't satisfy the requirements of the 2-star until you get the 3-star, which is impossible. So what the game was trying to say is, keep going on more exhibitions, keep getting more ghosts. You're going to get another famous ghost. Satisfy their requirements, that will get you the 2 stars. And then you can almost immediately like get the 3-star one for the other guy.
Yeah, it's the exponential growth.
Right. And like it's really pushing you to kind of keep exploring and keep exploring. But the problem was, I kept getting into another similar situation, which was I had these peasants I would get, and I kept getting ones that were to satisfy their buzz bonuses, they had to live in the room with a knight. Well, that's great, but I couldn't unlock the POI, the point of interest, that would get me knights until I satisfied the requirements of a peasant, like satisfying the buzz bonuses for a peasant, which I couldn't do because I didn't have a knight. So like I got to another one of these situations, and when I looked at it, people were like, that's not the only buzz bonus requirement the peasants have. You just need to go get more of them until you get one that doesn't have this buzz bonus. It took me 5 until I got to one. I was like, all right, that kind of sucks. Like that doesn't feel as kind of intuitive as some of these other ones are. Like maybe when you get extras of exhibits you put them into an analysis machine, it breaks them down and it increases the knowledge on that exhibit. So people feel smarter when they go to look at them, increases their happiness, yada, yada, yada. I would have been okay if it would have been like, okay, increase the knowledge of a peasant to level 3 or 5 or whatever the max was to satisfy that requirement to unlock that win. That would have felt maybe a little bit more natural for the rest of the stuff that I'm doing, instead of, okay, I have to Google this thing to figure out what I'm actually supposed to be doing. So that was a little bit of a bummer, but after, I don't know, 30, 40 hours that I've been playing this game, that's my only real frustration. I think I'm doing pretty okay at this point. So,
Yeah.
2-Point Museum's really great. The game turns out to be way bigger and way longer than I was expecting, which is great because I'm enjoying all of it, and I think all of it's really great. I'm kind of enjoying hopping back and forth between all of these museums to try and keep improving them as I go. So it's cool. But I need to finish something so I can pick up AC Shadows at some point.
Yup.
Yeah. All right, that's all I've been playing this week. Let's take a break.
Yep.
Okay, I'll open these curtains again a little bit because it's hot in here.
Yep. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh, so bright. I'll touch chat here. Hi, chat. How's everyone doing? See if there's any late breaking news stories. Maybe there's a Switch 2 news story here. Probably not. What do we have here? Wrap up of Steam Next Fest. Pokemon TCG Journey together brings expansion brings partners to battle. Okay. It's a game I have thankfully dropped at this point. Also, forgot to mention, I have a Google name search for TVGP out there, and usually it flags one of two things: either this show, or like someone made like a piece of security camera software that has TVGP and the serial number, or the model number. I did get it flagged with somebody on YouTube the other day, where they uploaded a Pokemon TCGP video, but they titled it Pokemon TVGP, and I was just like, all right, that's pretty funny. I'll take that misspelling. It's pretty good. Write that down as a topic. Pokemon TVGP. Sadly, it seems like there are no news stories here. A new Pokemon video here. What's this? Pokemon official dried, gassed, Gastling, and Happy Gast overview trailer from Minecraft Live 2025. Okay. Players can get the rundown on featured of the upcoming dried gas, Gastling, and Happy Gast. Oh yeah? The variations of gas are coming soon to Minecraft. I don't know what I don't know about Minecraft, even though that is mostly what my kid wants to talk to me about, because she is still way into Minecraft, which is great. A little dried gassed guy here. A lot of people on screen chatting. Nice to see that some video game developers and publishers will actually put women on screen. Kudos to Mojang. Thank you. That looks like Minecraft. I don't know what it's about. Bye, Gast.
Why are you watching a Minecraft video?
Hey, man, I don't know. Following my bliss on YouTube here.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. We've been recording for a very long time. I'm just off by myself.
Yep. Losing your mind.
Yep, pretty much.
I know how it goes.
All right. Are you ready to wrap this thing up?
Sure.
All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of March 24th, 2025. Atomfall comes out. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series consoles, and PC.
I've been hearing really good things about this game.
Yeah, I think when we saw this on some Direct or Microsoft thing or the Keeleys or something, we were like, okay, this sort of looks like British Fallout. And
Yep.
I think that largely seems to be right. It seems to be a little bit more like survival crafting than I was
Mhm.
expecting, which isn't necessarily bad. But
No, for
uh,
you that's bad. For me, that's great.
for me, it's maybe not a draw. Um, but I think people so far that have been playing this, because I think it's one of those games of like you bought the deluxe edition, you get to play it 3 days early or whatever.
4 days. Yep.
Yeah, people seem to be pretty pumped about what they've been playing, which is pretty good because I feel like most days people want to just hate everything. So if something's coming out and people are like, "I'm having a good time with it," it's probably actually pretty good.
Yep. Makes a change.
Yeah, yeah. So that's Atom Fall. I don't think it's on Game Pass or anything. I forgot to look up the
Oh,
Game
it
Pass.
is.
Okay, I forgot to look up the Game
It's,
Pass
yeah,
games this week.
it's Game Pass day and date.
Perfect. So go check it out. Free up some space on that Series X of yours and check it out.
I don't have the space, dude. I don't.
It's all. Hey, you're among friends. None of us have the space.
Yeah, that's true.
Next game here, Blue Wednesday is getting a release on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series consoles, and Switch. It came out on PC in 2023. It looks like a game that I think we would like quite a bit. Seems like maybe a game club game here, kind of like an adventure, 2D kind of artistic game. It says it's a story
Yeah.
about jazz and love and about failure. It also has a rhythm game here in it, where you're kind of playing the notes to the songs that you're, I'm assuming, writing, and it looks like it's kind of a fun thing. I didn't hear about it when it came out on PC, but it seems like it's a pretty neat thing. I'll have to add it here to our game club list, maybe. Seems like it's got that kind of vibe, a game club vibe. So that's Blue Wednesday. And last game here we have the the first Berserker Kazan, which people
It's
have,
another Souls, like I believe.
yeah, it's like an action RPG Souls like kind of anime thing. Um, People have seemed pretty pumped about this for a while. I feel like this is one of the harder ones because when we go in here and I talk about releases, I really do try to find why people are excited about it. If I'm not personally excited about it, I try and find why people are kind of pumped for a game like this, especially when it's not like, here's a new Assassin's Creed game, here's a new big racing game, here's a sports game, like that are kind of obvious. People seem really pumped about this in a way that I am having a hard time kind of figuring out, other than I really like Souls-like games, and this one looks like it's kind of a faster-paced one.
It looks, and the description for it is a hardcore action role playing game,
Mhm.
which makes me think this is probably more on the Sekiro edge of the Souls like
Sure,
games.
right. And
And there hasn't been another one of them ever.
right, and I feel like sort of from a lot of people, there's kind of a general hunger too after Elden Ring did really well and Lies of Peace surprisingly did really well. I think people
Mhm.
have kind of a hunger of like, okay, more than From Software can make
These
Souls-like
type of
games,
games.
and like Stellar Blade
Mhm.
kind of didn't turn out to really be a Souls-like. Um, I think people are like, okay, I could maybe play, I can maybe play another one of these, and having one that seems kind of like a little darker while having this kind of anime styling is a little bit interesting. So
Yeah.
we'll see. That's the first Berserker Kazan. That's all of our releases. We do have one quick news story here. I was realizing, looking at the GDC and IGF awards that happened this past week, we're more than ready to talk about the Keeleys, the game awards at the end of the year. But we really don't talk about the awards shows that feature like the BAFTAs, the GDC and IGF ones, the Day of the Dev ones. We don't talk about the smaller ones that feature a lot
The
of
actual awards.
yeah, like a lot of the awards, and actually celebrate the industry in a positive way. The Keeleys are getting better, but they're still not quite there. And they focus a lot on a lot more of the games, smaller games, indie games, a lot of the stuff that we are trying to surface more instead of just like, I played another AAA game this week, which is fine. I'm not throwing shade. I did that in the Outcast. I did want to talk about some of the GDC 2025 award winners. Game of the Year, Balatro. That's no one's gonna fight that. If you're gonna fight Balatro as Game of the Year, you haven't yet played Balatro, please go do that. It just got added to Game Pass, so go check it out. You should go play that. Best debut was Balatro. Best visual art was Black Myth Wukong, which I think is really.
The game looks gorgeous.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I think a lot of people that played it had some problems with maybe the game's design from like an encounter to encounter sort of thing. But I think from a visual design standpoint, that game does look really outstanding. Best audio, best technology were both Astrobot, which I think is really great. The way that they use audio, especially with in concert with the DualSense controller, I think is really cool. Best narrative was Metaphor ReFantasio, a game that I guess I have maybe accidentally dropped because I haven't played that for a couple weeks. Best design, Balatro, which, yeah, sure. Social Impact Award, Life is Strange Double Exposure, which was unfortunate that everybody on that team got laid off, so no one was there to accept the award. But I always have kind of a problem with these categories. It's not the intent behind the category, which is we're going to focus on games that largely feature LGBTQ plus protagonists, or we're going to games that feature persons of color or stories that come from not North America. I don't like the Social Impact Award name because it just doesn't mean anything.
No, I know it doesn't, but they have to do that because you know full well if they called it what it is,
right,
which is best non-white guy game,
right, or like best bisexual awakening game. Like you can't call it that, which is a bummer.
We can do a season about that for Critical Misses.
That's right.
Go check out the production meetings.
That's right.
But you can't name an award that because guaranteed that's when you get the attention they don't want to have.
Like all the Nazis come out of the word. What do you mean best gay game? There's no best straight games. Shut up.
Video games are woke, so on and so forth.
They are, and they're great. Innovation Award is Balatro. Pioneer Award is Lucas Pope, which makes sense. That's the Papers, Please guy, and a bunch of other stuff. Lifetime Achievement Award, Sam Lake. Heck yeah.
Mad respect for them for giving it to a non-American dude. Let's get that out the way, first and foremost. But is there anybody still rocking in this industry who's been doing it for as long as he's been doing it?
I mean, like, not as
Maya's probably not doing it anymore.
Not as forward facing, I think, as Sam Lake is, and someone who is like genuinely seems like humbled and kind of tickled at the idea of still making video games. Like Rangy Pitchford's been in the game forever, but like that's a problematic guy in the best of days.
Kojima's probably going to get the next one, would be my guess.
Sure, if he hasn't already gotten one, like that's...
Yeah, he probably already has one. But from what I understand as well, he was inducted. He was given the award by the guy who plays Alan Wake.
Yes.
And he did an interview afterwards where he basically lamented the loss of the voice actor of Max Payne too, which is just...
It's a really good
He remembers who he works for, who he works with.
Right. Yeah. And he remembers how many people it takes to make a game, which I think was such a highlight of award shows like these, of just like there are really good people making these games that are getting completely shafted by the industry, and we need to do better.
Yup.
So
Life is Strange, Prince of Persia.
Yeah. Thankfully, the Prince of Persia team just got dissolved into the rest of Ubisoft instead of laid off. But
thankfully, with quotation marks.
Yeah, thankfully, but you know who knows what that's. The IGF 2025 winners, the Seamus McNally Grand Prize was Consume Me, which is sadly a game I have never heard of, which is now a game that I'm definitely going to be checking out. Excellence in visual art was Haunty, which the game looks incredible. So yes. Excellence in audio, Despelode, I'm not sure. I've seen a lot of that game. That's that kind of, I don't even know how to describe the visual nature of it. You really should go check out a trailer of it. But I've heard that the audio of that is incredible, of like a lot of capturing real life instances of like you run across a soccer field and kids are playing soccer. They just captured a bunch of audio of actual kids playing soccer and just put that in the game. Kind of like
It's got a really unique look to it too.
yeah, it's really
it's like a monochrome like photograph that they've put the art assets on top of to create the game. That's really interesting.
It's striking. Yeah. Excellence in Design, Tactical Breach Wizards, which is well deserved. That game sounds like from a design perspective is pretty ridiculous in a great way. Also one of the best cover art of last year, I think. Excellence in Narrative, of course, could only go to Caves of Cud. There's no really other game that could have gone to this year, just for sheer scale and scope of that game. 2 additional awards for Consumi and Best Video Student Game for Slot Waste by Vinny Roca, which is another game I'll have to check out here. So it's cool. I just wanted to focus a bunch of additional awards that didn't have Jeff Keighley in front of them. I'd like to continue to do that throughout the rest of the year. We usually see some cool stuff from the BAFTAs. We usually see some cool stuff from some other awards throughout the rest of the year. So we'll try and keep focusing and featuring those as we come across them. But that's all the news stories we have this week, which also means we are finally at the end of our very long recording sessions for today. If you'd like to visit us, do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere you can find and follow us on the right-hand side of the page. Please don't forget Discord, discord.tvgp.tv. Come join us there. Patreon.com/E1M1.
The ones and numbers.
Talked about all the cool stuff at the beginning of the show. I'm not going to repeat that. $5 a month is a recommended one. If you can't support us financially, totally understand. Please go like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Blue Sky. Like and repost all of our stuff over there. Rate and review us wherever you can on whatever podcatcher you have. Positive only, as I kindly remind you. And I think that's it. My brain has stopped. So that means this episode stops. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Boy.
I wrote down only 2 titles. How many do you have?
I got a fair few.
Okay.
Okay. A smorgasbord of content.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking about the Dragula.
Mm-hmm.
Take a little peep. It's giving YA. So many nouns. Proper Noun-ey is a very good one, I think.
Oh,
and
proper.
quote unquote, thankfully.
Proper Noun-ey. I have Check the Outcast. So I think we said that like 5 times. I'm always thinking about the Dragula and Proper Noun-ey.
I mean, I think Proper Noun-ey. I really like Take a Little Peep.
Take a Little Peep is also really good, yeah.
I think Proper Noun-ey is very us. It's Proper
so.
Noun-ey.
Proper Noun. How do I spell Noun-ey? Okay,
I spelled it with a Y. Just noun with a Y.
No, it's noun-EY. I thought it was noun-Y, but it's noun-EY. Okay. Let me amend my notes here. Okay. Let me know when you're ready. You gotta think of every proper noun you've ever thought of.
No, I've got 2. I'm just deciding which one is the best.
Multi-optioned. Can't wait to see how long it's gonna take to edit the video for this critical misses we recorded today.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, jeez. All right. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 909 from March 24th, 2025. Proper Noun-ey.
It's TVGP, That Video Game Podcast.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening and watching. We do greatly appreciate it. We're going to go rest our vocal cords now. We'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.